Were you ever a fan? I forgot his last name. Maybe Giles was the last name. That cartoonist, Giles.
Yeah, that's why I'm called me. Yeah.
That's what?
That's why my parents called me Giles. They liked that cartoonist.
You're named after that guy?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, it
Love
is.
those cartoons.
Because it's my name, I'm like, oh, whatever. It's cool. I like it. But
It was so punk rock. Those little kids were fucking punk rock.
do you know what I don't actually remember any of the stories or any of the scenes or anything. Was it sort of like Beano style kind of kids causing trouble?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. They're always into something.
That makes a lot of sense.
And the grandma always would be hitting them with the umbrella.
Were you a troublemaker?
And that's funny you asked. My wife and I were just laughing the other day. I found we just moved recently, and so we were unpacking stuff, and I found some uh, yearbooks from when I was 14, 13 or 14. And the first page we turned to where the kids had signed it, and was one of them said, to David, the kid who makes all the teachers mad. You're welcome.
Sounds like an accolade to me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Good epitaph.
Big time. I often think that, I think talking about this stuff can get very earnest very quickly, but I still think it's true. I think the people that do question and they do ask and they're like, well, why? Why do you do it that way? And a lot of teachers or parents or the older people, they don't really have a good enough answer for it. So they get upset. But actually, that's got to be a sign of, it's got to be a sign of being some kind of smart, on some kind of imagination.
Sure. I mean, I just saw a goofy thing. I don't know if it was a meme or what, but it just said, recent studies show that intelligent people curse a lot more than those other stupid motherfuckers.
That's good. That's good. Did you feel, I think playing music and making art, there's got to be a particular, if you're doing it for yourself, I feel like there must be kind of level for most people of thinking, all right, I know how I want it done, so I'm going to do it my way, and I don't think there's necessarily arrogance. I think it's just being like, oh, I've got this I've got this idea and I think I know how to fucking do it, and I wonder if it comes from that kind of place.
I don't know. That's an interesting point. Yeah. And then, ideally, hopefully, if you work with anybody else, it can be a good collaboration of those things. But yeah.
Totally. So 101 part-time jobs, this show's called, because, well, it started when my friends were playing bands and, we'd grow up and we'd get to our 20s or sort of post being able to live with your parents' acceptable age and being like, oh, okay, well, we still want to play music. How can you keep on playing music where fucking it's still £50 support fees? There's no money in it, especially into the streaming era. And so, and it still happens now in mid-30s. It's like most people I know are working a handful of jobs, part-time, full-time, whatever it is, and just fucking just trying to put the ends together. Do you know what I mean? Have you got a similar experience, people around you?
I do. Not really presently, but throughout my life, I certainly have. And, these days, shit, the world is racing down the toilet. So.
Yeah. I've never known, I think of my sister, I think of my mum who writes books and she's on Penguin, but she's not rich, I think of lots of people I know, I've never, maybe I'm paying more attention now, but if I feel like people are more worried than they've ever been before, not just about the world, but about their personal situation, looking after themselves and people around who need it, the little ones, the kids,
Yeah. Do you have kids?
No, I'm about to get married. I'm very much in love and I live with my partner and we've got a great relationship.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. But kids, it's we don't have enough money, first of all, for kids, and just not really there. I think, yeah, I'm maybe, like I said earlier, I got pushed away from my family for a couple of years, and I think being in that kind of environment where I sort of became a what do you call it? Like I got kind of orphaned a little bit for a couple of years. Is that I think I would like to do that myself. I'd like to pay that back down the line and have a bring up a kid who needed it. You know,
Right.
I'd like to do that. Yeah, yeah. How about you? What's your idea with that stuff?
We don't have kids. This is my second marriage. When I was married in the early 90s, uh, my wife and I kind of toyed with the idea of having kids, but then she got pregnant and had a miscarriage. And then after that, it was just never lined up again. Like I would want him and she didn't, and then she did and I wouldn't.
Yeah,
And we ended up getting divorced. So thank God we didn't have any kids.
yeah, yeah. What did she think of you being an artist, of making posters, of acting, of playing in bands?
She was always very supportive. She and my current wife both, they're really good about that. I mean, I met her at when I first moved to Chicago, we worked in a record distributor called, I don't remember what it was called, but
Funny.
then she became the general manager at Touch and Go Records and really
Yeah,
turned that place around. So she, in her own right, was artistic with that stuff.
yeah. Have you ever been distracted from making stuff, from being that artist?
Oh, sure. I think that's inevitable. Well, like when the Jesus Lizard sort of first broke up, um, and around that sort of time era, I don't know if that I was necessarily distracted, but I wasn't um, interested in focusing on that stuff. Sort of felt like, okay, I've done everything I can do with this.
Yeah,
So maybe that's similar.
yeah. I think it seems to be it take a lot of energy. I think doing this job, doing this thing of like interviewing people and wanting to. I basically see myself as I see this as a magazine, and I'm the editor of the magazine. I bring features, I bring interviews. Hopefully, I introduce people to bands, whether they're new or they're not new or whatever. And naturally, I think about like my own life and like what's the job of doing this. And I think a lot of the time it's like being persistent and just like being there, and that takes a lot of fucking energy. Like I think it takes a lot of energy to fucking get out of bed in such a shite world. Like that's
Yeah,
a job.
but you're right with persistence. I mean, in whatever endeavor, like people like, and I hope I don't insult your musical taste, but like Husker Du or Sonic Youth, like I think they're not very good, but they toured incessantly. There was just
Mm,
like they were in town every 2 months, and they just sort of ram it down in people's throats until they go,
yeah,
okay, okay, I love it.
yeah. I think a lot of music does come down to, or music taste comes down to familiarity. You kind of get to understand what something is, and if a band's playing every 2 weeks, you get to know them, or your friend brings you along the first time, and then you bring more friends along next time. You can see how that works.
Yeah.
Did you have that thing with Jesus Lizard where did you want to be big? Did you want to be a band that people came to see? I know that's like a funny question. I know like it's a weird question, but yeah,
We probably
how do
did.
you talk to each other about that stuff?
Yeah, I don't remember ever. I mean, you would joke about it, but I don't remember ever having that be a goal. I think that particularly when we first started, it was just get this music out to people, and then you sell 1,000 records, and you're going, "Fuck, man, we're selling records to people we don't even know."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah. And does that change? Does that feeling evolve? Because I feel like it's probably no matter who you are, you could be like the crustiest punk who doesn't give a fuck, but then everyone like evolves, and then you're like, well, actually, maybe I do care. Maybe I do care about doing this more.
Yeah, and just recently with the ever since this new record and the touring we've been doing in the States and in Europe, it's like we're way, way more popular than we were before we broke up. And I'm not exactly sure what to blame that on. I assume it's the internet and word of mouth
Yeah,
through the internet. And that's pretty cool. I mean, some of these rooms we're playing. or festivals, it's blowing my mind the number of people that are there and how jubilant they seem to be there. It's really rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never had so many conversations about Jesus Lizard. We've got a friend's uncle, Uncle Bob from Watford, and he's in this great band called Hey Colossus. Do you know them?
Who?
Hey Colossus?
I don't.
I think you'll
But
be into them.
I know Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, Bob is your uncle. He really is. And he told us about you when we were kids, when we were teenagers. He was showing us loads of great stuff. And I saw you in Primavera, and I just had that was the first time I've seen you, and I'd never spoken to so many other people outside of my friend Matt and his uncle. I'd never spoken to about Jesus Lizard so much. Like, it's in conversation. It's funny how that works.
Are you in Barcelona? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Cool.
That was a good fucking show. That was a lot of fun. Did you enjoy it?
As I recall, yeah. I mean, it's
It was late.
Yeah, festivals aren't my favorite way to play. You know, it's not the best way to present a band, and it's not the best way to see a band. But as far as they go, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, you were on the how do you pronounce it? Schwarzkopf stage, the hairdresser stage.
Yes, Schwarzkopf.
Do you get any free goodies?
I don't know, like swag.
Yeah, like conditioner, baby.
Oh, I don't, I don't know. Nothing's gonna help this crap.
Mate, you got it. You got hair. It's
My
there.
hair, well, it's more like smoke than hair.
You're like a real life cartoon character.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. You've been enjoying yourself, and like coming home off a tour like that. Yeah, is it funny acclimatizing?
Yeah, it has been fun. The timing was really bad because my wife and I just moved to Porto, Portugal in March. And
Okay.
then 6 weeks later, we had to start this tour and go back to the United States. And I don't fucking want to go that stupid place. And it was just very difficult because we were setting up our apartment and getting to know where we live and just sort of settling in and buying furniture and all that kind of shit. And then I gotta fucking go to the United States. It was such a drag. And but then it was only like 8 shows or something. And then we went and played Europe, and that was pretty fun. That was good.
Yeah, yeah. And you're going to Porto. How? Yeah, you got your setup. You got your neighborhood. Did you take your cats?
All the cats died.
Sorry.
The last one died like 3 months before we left, and it was actually kind of a blessing because she was 19 and a half, 16 and a half,
Oh wow.
19 and a half. And
Yeah, I mean, both is old. Yeah.
yeah, and the vet said that she probably wouldn't make it on the trip, so it was
Yeah.
just as well. And she was being good to us to go ahead and take off.
What's your philosophy on getting new cats in Porto in your new place?
We probably will because we love cats, but we're also planning on doing a lot of traveling and don't want to deal with cat sitters, so we're not going to do it right away.
Yeah.
There are 2 cats. I don't know that they're completely feral, but they're strays, and they hang out in the backyard and feed them. They don't come in. They won't let us touch them. But we named them because there's a boy and a girl, and I was trying to think of a famous Portuguese person, and Magellan was the only one I could come up with. And so I looked up Magellan, and Ferdinand Magellan, and his wife was named Beatriz. So it's the Magellans, Ferdy
Yeah.
and Beatriz.
Yeah. Very nice. You get them food?
Yeah, we buy cat food for them and feed them, but they won't let us touch them. They scurry away.
Yeah. We've got a Mr. Pickles, one cat, and my fiance Eva. She's big into like rescuing birds, and like there's a lot of foxes around here. She feeds the foxes.
Oh,
Yeah, a
cool.
lot of wildlife. I get a bit upset though because I'm like, if she brings something into the house, I'm like, you're gonna fucking make us ill, you know. You can't fuck with it too much. You can't get too close with it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that for sure that if you can get ill, but it just feels like you could.
Yeah, it's true. They carry disease and stuff like that. And like in our place in LA, we would feed these squirrels, and they'd come right up, take the food out of your hand. But
Yeah,
if they bite you, there's pretty good chance they're rabid. So
yeah, yeah. We've had that. We've had that. I got upset about that. But yeah. Are you doing art? Are you doing film posters? You do film posters, right? You touch them up, you design them, like Hollywood stuff, like billboard stuff. And I guess that stuff
yeah.
has allowed you to move. That allows you to live somewhere else.
Well, about golly, over a year ago, particularly when there were those strikes in Hollywood, and
Mm.
my work really, really, really slowed down. Um, it was almost a blessing because of the touring that we started having to do. Um, and I don't know that I'm going to do that work at all anymore. I might do some like jobs here and there for the company because of the time difference. If it's something that comes in on a Thursday and they say we got to have this tomorrow, and I can do it because of the time difference. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that doesn't happen. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. You don't stress yourself out about it.
Yeah.
I suppose that's a good way to be. Did you ever get stressed out about it? I think of acting like you've done and movie posters and being in a band. I mean, I feel like those are all kind of conducive to fucking, losing your mind a little bit. And like, that could be like quick deadlines or it could be getting in your head about a project. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm okay at juggling two things. I can do two things at once. But if it's three or four more things, I get really gubate. I'm too simple for that shit. And that would happen occasionally when I was working really long hours, like 16 to 18 hours, and just stuff to do. And yeah, that would stress me out. I
Yeah.
don't miss that.
Yeah. Have you got back into the rhythm of Jesus Lizard stuff with the new album and you got the Record Store Day 3-track EP? Are you back into the flow of like doing stuff and just being in that mindset of like, okay, we're in a band, we do something every day, whether that's emails or interviews or recording or writing. Are you in that tunnel?
Not right now. I've left that spot because I'm home for a couple months. But
Good.
when
Yeah.
while we were doing it, it's pretty easy to slip into it. It's like a old pair of shoes that still
Yeah.
fit. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I love those guys. It's so much fun to play with them, and it's kind of an honor to be in the band. So it's still it's fun to do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do it too much longer.
They're good, aren't they? They're tight. There's something watching you play is like, okay, it's like you lock into the zone. And I don't know if it's like 10 minutes or an hour. That's the vibe that I get.
Yeah, they're really, really good at what they do.
Yeah.
I think they're. I think we're a better band now than we were when we broke up in the '90s. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I've taken vocal lessons since then. They've all been playing, so they're getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you done much acting recently?
I have four offers right now. I have four scripts that I'm to read, and
Come on.
tomorrow I'm going to speak with the director. Um, just the other night, we watched a film by this guy Andy Smetanka, uh, and he does animation, and he did a movie called "And We Were Young," which Isabella Rossellini latched onto. She was just so enamored with this movie. She's going to be in the next one, and I'm going to be in that with her. But it's just animation. You won't ever see us. Um,
You got the voiceover.
exactly. And
Yeah.
it's called Spoon River. and I'm really eager for that. There's another movie we're going to be shooting called Where the Sparrows Fly. I think we're shooting that in the Canary Islands. That'll be fun.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and a couple other things. So yeah, that's all good.
Yeah,
Oh, and
nice.
a few years ago in Bulgaria, we shot The Toxic Avenger, and that's finally coming out at the end of August.
Quality.
Really
That's
looking
that'll
forward
be
to that.
exciting. What do you do? Will you go over for the premiere? Will you watch it in Porto?
That's a great question. I have no idea. I don't know where it will premiere. Um, if they'll pay for me to go to, if it's in the States, fuck it. I don't want to go. If maybe the Porto, maybe the Portugal or something in Lisbon or
Yeah,
something. I'd go to that, but I'm not. I don't
yeah,
want to go to the United States.
yeah, yeah. It sounds like you got a great life at the moment. Living somewhere new with your wife, got acting work, doing the band stuff. Like if it's there, you can have it. That's a good mix.
Thank you, Giles. I think you're right. I think we're just happy as we can be. We just walk around here. Our neighborhood is magnificent. We read early when we got here, and within a zero point 0.3 kilometer radius, there are over 400 restaurants.
Yeah, brilliant. You're gonna have to put a spreadsheet together and get through them.
Yeah, yeah. I could click off every single one.
We did that. There are so many great Indian houses in London. And a few years ago, some friends and I put together a spreadsheet of the ones that we hadn't been to or we wanted to go to again. And we put different columns and we rated them on various factors, like just like vibe or the one that I remember is that there seemed to be a strange number of Indian restaurants where the urinals would piss back at you. So there'd always be the urinals would deflect back off you, which is kind of a strange thing that we'd only noticed doing that. But, some good research into Indian restaurants.
Wow, that's not cool.
Well, you just got to just not wear chinos next time. That's it. It's fine.
Yeah, you could. I think that one of the
Splashback is what I'm trying to
variables I
say.
would do if I was doing that, I would say I would rate their samosas. Like,
Yeah.
who has the best samosa?
The Bargees was definitely in there. Yeah. What was the quality of Bargees? What was the ambiance like? We were big fans of like the cafeteria style ones,
Oh,
whether it's
really?
just kind of, along the wall there's a lot of sort of like old kind of Indian like clubs, clubhouses, where there would be that kind of vibe. I prefer that over a fancy restaurant. I don't want someone waiting on me too much.
Sure.
What's your favorite kind of dish? What's your favorite dish right now in Porto?
Well, we just had Indian day before yesterday. It was really, really good. Um, Surprisingly, we have found four great Mexican restaurants in Porto, which
Yeah.
is amazing because it wasn't long ago that if you were on the eastern side of the Atlantic, you're not going to find any good Mexican food. And
Mm.
it's pretty amazing that we've found four places that are great.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good tacos.
Amazing tacos, amazing everything. There's a place called Frida that is just magnificent.
Yeah.
Um,
Good
but
fish. Imagine having good fish out there.
yeah, that's their thing. Fish and potatoes is the main stuff, and they really do chicken well. They do have
Yeah.
these barbecue chicken places that are really great.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. That's good stuff. I'd like to do food. Like food is good. Good food is good food.
Right, that's right.
101. I think of thinking about 101 part-time jobs and thinking about you and a lot of what you've done. Is there like a common thread between acting, posters, music that you've wanted to? Is there a particular feeling that you kind of bring to all of those? And I suppose that feeling could be lots of things, but is there a kind of a place that you kind of dig for inside yourself? Like it could be a feeling or a visual.
That's an interesting question to tie all three together, because typically I would say that the art, the photo retouching for the movie posters, uh, I was never the art director for that stuff. I just do what they tell me to, and I do it the best I can. Like if I need to make this face look that much better. I will throw in things that I think make it look better to make the eyes look better and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I think one of the ways that I got good at that is I was working at a company in Chicago doing Photoshop stuff. And sometimes somebody will say something and it just clicks for some reason. And there was this art director who I'd become friends with, and he said, "Well, just think detail, just detail." And that did it. It really kind of clicked for me. And I was like, okay, from now on, when I'm working on a piece, I'm going to make all the details as good as possible. And that'll go all across the acting and the music and stuff, like
Yeah.
little intricacies and uh, detail. So I
Yeah.
think that's probably the thing that
Yeah. I
I
was
would
thinking,
get.
I was having a look at some of the film stuff that you've been in, and what was the film where you were the carer of the dad? What's that
High and
film
out
called?
guy.
And when his son comes in, and there's that bit where you're about to grapple with each other. The thing that really got me in that scene was when you kind of look to his eye to eye, so you kind of see your eyes flicker, but your eyes
Yeah.
they don't flicker too much. They because that would be unbelievable. I believed your flick, because that's kind of what happens. Now, I haven't been in many fights in my life, but that's what happens when you get into a fight, right? You do that. There's an animalistic. You're looking one to the other, and I believed you, and that's detail.
Well, that scene when he's shirtless and he's very strong. He's really strong. I mean, he could easily throw me across the room. Um, but his character was such a fucking dumbass that argument was real. I mean, we were really into it. And like, even when there's one part when he's arguing with his dad and Jeff Lewis spits in his face. That was not in the script. Jeff just did that. And
Fuck.
it was just like, man, fuck. Yeah, I'm glad you saw that movie. It's I'm really proud of that. It was interesting when we first saw the very first cut of it. It wasn't that good. It was kind of like, ah, shit. Well, we tried, say la vie, and then they recut it and made it into a real movie. I'm really proud of that thing.
Wow. Does that happen often, that the first edit is like, because there's so much money that goes into that, so much committee. That must be like a difficult pill to swallow, because if you get it back and it's like, so what happens? What usually happens? Do you think when if at first edit comes back and everyone's a bit like, fuck, what?
Honestly, I don't have enough experience in that part of the process to give a good answer. I know that one because my wife was one of the producers on it, and we did that with so little money. The crew was like 9 people,
Wow.
so it was very, very tight knit. That's the only reason I know
Yeah.
the stuff that I
Yeah.
know about it.
Makes me think how much money's in movies, and it feels like there used to be a lot of money in music videos. You read now about the stories of MTV and how much a music video would cost, and it'd be like 6 figures, or more than 6 figures. And now, of course, music videos do get made for pop stars like that, but obviously now you can still make a pretty brilliant video for like a few £100. It's funny, like it's funny to me. I don't know the amount of money that kind of goes into film next to sort of music, and music has now kind of been stripped down to the core financially. It seems to me.
Yeah, it for the great most part, it's just kind of a business. Yeah, and the money, even movies with a reasonable budget, it just seems like the director and the producers are scrambling to try and find money all the time. And Lynch is dead now, but it used to break my heart that uh, they make these fucking Marvel movies for a $1 billion, and meanwhile David Lynch doesn't get enough money to make the movie he wants, or Billy Bob Thornton, or Lars von Trier, or whoever,
Yeah,
and that's just wrong.
yeah, it's madness. What was the last really good thing that you saw? Have you got any recommendations?
Well, we went to see Was it The Materialist? The Materialist yesterday, and it wasn't good.
Wasn't.
Yeah, there's a cool little cinema down the street, and they occasionally show um, English speaking or American movies that are subtitled in Portuguese. And we went to see this one called The Materialists, and with Chris Evans and Dakota. What's her name? What?
Johnson.
Glosson?
Johnson.
Johnson. Dakota Johnson. And it wasn't very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Classic was good. What
What
did
was
you
the
see?
one where she gets younger as she gets older?
Oh, Pretty Things?
I enjoyed that.
Poor Things. Yeah,
Really
Glasnost
enjoyed.
Plaplagiwatch, the Greek, he did Dogtooth and
Okay.
The
Yeah.
lobster.
The Lobster. Yeah, that was
Lobster was
great.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Emma Stone was amazing in that, and William Defoe is amazing in that, and even Mark Ruffalo.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, that was a great movie. She, throughout the history, you've seen people occasionally have to act like children, and she pulled that off so well.
Yeah.
Typically, they don't get it, but she did a
Yeah.
great job of being a child in an adult's body.
Detail, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, thanks so much for the chat. I've got a couple of questions, if that's all good.
Sure.
And the first one is, and my friend Matt, who's the nephew of Uncle Bob in Hey Colossus, which is definitely a band that you should check out. They've got like 15 albums. They're really, really great.
Name Hey Colossus.
Hey Colossus. Yeah. They're brilliant. They run their own label. They're just, I think you'd like it. I think Jesus Lizard fans would like it, and I think you'd like it.
Okay.
But he was like, I want to know, I want to know who David's tailor is, and I think he was making a joke about your brilliant outfit when you came to the UK. Was it in Scotland that you wore a pretty brilliant jacket?
My tailor. Well, that jacket, I don't know what they call that. Fake fur or whatever.
Yeah.
Before we moved, where we were living, a woman across the street was a kind of she does really cool ceramics and stuff, and they have a big yard, and she sort of hosted this art fair, and there was a clothes maker in amongst the artists that were showing stuff, and she had a variety of pants and shirts and stuff, and then that fur coat, and I saw that, and I go, oh, I gotta have that. And so I bought that, and I don't. There was no specific reason why it happened to be Glasgow, but yeah, I wore that, and I think a zebra print thong and cowboy boots.
And the Billy Eilish shirt that Charlotte.
Oh yeah, and my Billie Eilish shirt. Just trying to look sexy.
You pulled it off. Achieved. Mission accomplished.
Wonderful.
You just got to do it in the coldest place.
Yeah. Well, then the last show of that particular tour was in Dublin, and we had several friends from Chicago, a couple of whom grew up in Dublin. They came over for those shows. We played 2 nights there, and stayed with our friend's mom. And how old is she?
82.
She's like 82, and she went to the first show and dug it so much she wanted to go to the second show. And I wore a fishnet thong that night and gave it to her after the show.
Brilliant. Very, very generous of you.
Well, fishnet thongs, they come and go.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I appreciate the chat. 101 part-time jobs, a big part of it. I didn't mention this earlier, but I struggle to find a job that I could hold down for more than a few months. And I've counted it the other day, and I've worked like 53 jobs. Some of them are for 2 weeks at a time. others, maybe a year or so or whatever. But I'm not alone in that. Plenty of people playing music or doing whatever have worked precarious short jobs. And the thing I find most entertaining about those kinds of jobs is that you usually end up fucking it up because you don't really want to be there. You're trying to get out. You're not really paying attention. That's the main thing. You're not paying attention. So you end up giving someone the wrong change, the wrong change, breaking something, a lot of laboring. You use a saw you don't know how to use. Hopefully you don't get in too bad of an accident. But I wonder, in that kind of thinking, have you worked any short-lived precarious jobs where you've really screwed the pooch?
Oh yeah, lots. There was you were talking about you not paying attention or you break something or whatever. There was when I was in high school, I worked at this grocery store, and I worked my way up from produce clerk to produce assistant manager. And I was a little punk rocker in Austin, Texas, and it was in the very late 70s, when grocery stores went from being one size to had these huge, big things. They're just enormous things. And they sell everything. They sold records. And so I would have friends come in and look at the record bin. And if they liked anything, I'd said, just put it upside down at the end of the thing. Then I'll get that for you. And I would steal shit from there all the time. A friend of mine and I, we moved into a house and we wanted to have a housewarming party, and so we had 5 kinds of caviar like at our housewarming party, and I would steal furniture and just all kinds of shit from that stupid place. Yeah, I would never do that to a mom and pop kind of thing. This big company went, but
worth saying, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, God damn. There was a place Dwayne and I both worked called New City Market in Chicago. And I remember I was job hunting, and I was just in the neighborhood. I'd go to every door and say, hey, are you taking applications? And I walked in this place, and this guy, I went up to him and I said, hey, are you taking job application? He said, yeah, take this price gun and start putting the price on those potato chips over there. So he didn't even ask my name. He just hired me on the spot. And then that song, Then Comes Dudley, that's about that place. Because the guy who hired me was nuts, and he was married to a woman who was nuts. And he had a concubine who worked at the thing that he was fucking, and his wife knew, and she was nuts. And it's all about that place. And how when Dwayne, the way both of us quit was we just left. We didn't say anything or just fuck you or goodbye or thanks a lot. Nothing. Just left. Never came back.
Matt, so he was fucking a porcupine, you said?
a concubine, a mistress.
What's a concubine? Oh, a mistress.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, like a sort of secreted away mistress.
Wow. All right. So you got the cross section view, as it were.
Yeah, but it was weird. They were so into juicing and carrot juice. Their skin was orange.
Yeah, can't be that good for you, right? Or maybe it is. Maybe that's how you become the king of the Netherlands.
Yeah, or the United States. He's orange.
He is very orange. I just learned the other day that carrots were originally purple before the Netherlands dyed them orange as their royal dish.
I didn't know that. I mean, I've seen purple carrots. I didn't know that one came. That which came first, the chicken or the purple carrot?
Cheers for watching. This is 101 Part-Time Jobs. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast apps. We've done interviews with Aurora, Kneecap, Idols, Laura Maybury of Churches, and loads more. So tap into 101 Part-Time Jobs on Spotify, Apple, and all podcast apps.